Hey team, it's Conrad Tracy, addiction coach from Melbourne, Australia. In this training, I'm going to walk you through the exact roadmap that helped one of the highest performing women we've ever worked with completely rebuild her life without rehab, without shame, and without stepping away from her family or her career. Her name's Rosie. She came to me drinking up to 2 bottles of wine a night. She looked high functioning, but inside she was struggling with anxiety, panic attacks, and deep isolation. What you'll learn today isn't just how she stopped, it's how she transformed. So if you've been trying to cut back, holding it together, or trying to fix it quietly on your own, this training is for you. Let's dig in. When I met Rosie, she was having a lot of problems and feeling really frustrated. She was drinking 2 bottles of wine every single night. She was high functioning, but she was deeply unwell. She was having panic attacks, insomnia, and also dry reaching every morning when she woke up. She was isolated in a rural town, and she was doing that during COVID, which made things even harder. And, she'd really lost her structure, her identity, and any form of connection with people that she loved. In terms of the mistakes that Rosie was making, she had tried to stop on her own, and she'd done it for a period of 6 weeks or 9 weeks, but she really had no structure and no support. And she was really downplaying her needs, so putting other people first. And she said, nobody even really noticed what was going on. I think, Rosie really assumed that her intelligence and her research would get to the root of this problem. And she was really avoiding the deep work, particularly around boundaries, emotional regulation, and communication. So again, the mistakes that she was facing, trying to stop on her own, no support, no structure, downplaying her needs, and assuming that she could read or learn her way out of this issue, whilst avoiding deep work such as emotional regulation, communication, and boundaries. Now, the metaphor for Rosie, and I think this is, a really nice one. It's like you can't fix the roof whilst the house is on fire, okay? We really had to rebuild from the ground up, and removing the alcohol was the first step, right? One of the things that Rosie said to me, which was great, she said, my whole life became managing anxiety and drinking. And from somebody who had such an illustrious career and so much to do, to get to that point is a testament to how much she had lost her structure. My whole life became managing anxiety and drinking. Now, the deep learning here, and this is really important, okay? This is more than what you'll find in a textbook or what you'll find on a podcast. For Rosie, the substance was not the key issue, okay? It was the relationship to pressure, control, pleasing, worth, and avoidance. And once we, again, removed the alcohol, we were able to jump in and really start to work on these things. And this is what people call the deep work or the deep knowledge. Now, I want to run you through a quick frame, and I'm going to show you how we actually approached helping Rosie to fix this. So when I met Rosie in 2023, she was in a world of emotional pain. We've talked about this. She was having anxiety, she was having panic attacks, she was dry reaching, she was disconnected, and she was isolated. She was deeply unhappy, okay? And we took Rosie through our framework. We call it the identity integration model. And we're really passionate about helping people to do 3 things. And that is to open up, show up, and level up. Now, in terms of the work that Rosie needed to do around opening up, it was communication, it was emotional regulation, and it was helping her to better control her environment and change her perspective around her environments. Because she really did believe that she was isolated, there was nobody there for her, and she could not rebuild her life without being in Hong Kong or London or a capital city somewhere. Okay, so we really had to work on that narrative. Now, I always tell people this, I'm just a Sherpa in this journey. So Rosie jumped up on the green line with me in 2023. And that day she decided that the red line was not an option for her. She wasn't going to head down towards more crisis in her life. Okay? We worked on those three key things and we walked through this door together. And remember, I'm just the Sherpa. Okay? She did all of the heavy lifting. I just showed her the way. And then what we worked on in terms of her showing up, and this is critically important, is that we gave her a framework, okay? We gave her routines, we gave her consistency, and we gave her a place to come and actually practice rebuilding her life. Rosie really hit the ground running with that stuff. I think she was really, really lacking that structure and support. So again, going from my whole life became managing anxiety and drinking to a place where she had things to come to, meetings to come to, weekly coaching, community support, right? She really started to show up and we walked through that door together and we closed it behind us, right? Because once we have this knowledge, and it's more than knowledge, it's the practice of knowledge, then we don't have to ever give it up, okay? It stays with us. So we've been through this process and then really Rosie started to level up in life, okay? So we worked here on her values, her sense of self, her confidence, and really, really helping to rebuild her identity, okay? So she'd come from a massive role. She's living in rural Australia. She's feeling isolated. She doesn't know who she is or what she's doing or what her identity is without alcohol, okay? All of her social engagements were based around drinking. All of her friends drank. So setting boundaries around all of that stuff and giving her permission to rebuild her life and identity without alcohol was really, really critical, okay? And one thing that's important here is that this was a long journey, okay? I met Rosie in 2023, and today in 2025, her life has been completely rebuilt. She is happy. She is exercising daily. Her health is incredibly, well, it's 1,000 times better than it was, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Her relationship is connected. She's doing amazing work. She's built this incredible portfolio career, right? Doing all of these things that she loves, right? And the journey that she took with us was she started in the Delta Path for 12 weeks and then joined the Success Cycle, which is really where we get hyper-focused on life, performance, accountability, and goal setting, okay? So this 2-year journey has seen her completely transform her life. Now, in terms of the tools that we used, okay? And this is really, really important because if you're going from a place of being completely isolated and by yourself, having a structure and a framework is critically important. So in the Delta Path, Rosie had daily phone check-ins. She worked one-on-one with me. I handled every touch point in that program. So for the first 12 weeks, we talked every single day for about 15 minutes a day. She did daily accountabilities, and this gave her the planning and consistency and also a place to talk and practice her emotional communication, talk through all of the issues that she was having, right? And the beautiful thing about the daily phone check-ins is we take all of this and we compile it, right? And then we have weekly coaching sessions to unpack it all, okay? Daily phone check-ins, daily accountabilities, weekly coaching, crisis support. So when she was in the depths and having a really hard time, she was able to pick up a phone and speak to me, okay? She had weekly groups to come to, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, such an important cadence through the week, right? Into the middle of the week, Friday to win the weekend, and then Sunday, debrief to recap and plan for the week ahead, right? She also did an executive health check as part of her program. Now, anybody that I work with in the Delta Path, I fly them into Melbourne. We spend a VIP day onboarding, and we go to one of the best integrative healthcare partners, an amazing clinic called Mint Clinic. And this is critically important, okay? Rosie did her health check in November 2023. Her liver score was 56. Now, for a person her age, it should have been 35, okay? It was incredibly high. In November 2023, it was 20. Okay, so inside a year, she has decreased that from 56 to 20 through a dramatic lifestyle change, right? She did our holistic programming, mindful movement, nutrition, breath work. She did all of the recommendations that the executive health check showed her through her bloods and her cardiology, right? ECG testing, IVs, right? She really, really hit the ground running, and she has dramatically improved her health. Now, things are not perfect with her health, but they are 1,000 times better. And I want you to deeply understand that if these things go unchecked, they can lead to absolute crisis. Okay? So coming in, getting that baseline check on her health was critically important. So some important things to remember, and I hope that this has been helpful going through this journey of Rosie's, right? Her problems, the mistakes, the metaphor, the deep learning that the alcohol was not the key issue, how we approached it, how we fixed it, and all of the things that she got to do each day to give her that framework and support. High functioning does not mean healthy, okay? It is a justification I hear all of the time. I'm high functioning, I'm getting all of this stuff done, so it's okay for me to be drinking. What people don't realize is you're paying an incredible tax, okay? You take the alcohol out of the equation and you've got 15, 20, 35% more headroom, and things start to feel much less overwhelming, okay? You don't need rehab, you need a roadmap. For people like Rosie who are very, very high functioning and there's a lot to do and a lot to get through, heading into an environment with people that she didn't know and she didn't feel safe around, it's not what she needed. She just needed a plan that she could execute because she was good at that stuff, and a person that she felt deeply safe with to be able to do it, okay? Willpower fades, structure sustains, and this is critical. Right? You've all been on that journey. I'm going to do this. I'm going to white knuckle it. And 3 weeks in, 4 weeks in, 6 weeks in, something happens and you break down. Okay? The structure and the framework is what keeps you safe. So willpower fades, structure sustains. Transformation takes time, and it really can be done. It can be done privately, it can be done powerfully, and it can be done permanently. Remember, this is not a 30-day process, a 60-day process, a 90-day process. Okay? We are deeply passionate about what we do, and we stand behind it with ethics and integrity, okay? If you really want to transform your life, this is how long it takes. It's a 12 to 18-month journey. Now, on that point, if you are ready, if you've listened to this, if you've gotten this far, I deeply commend you. If you know that there is a change that needs to occur, if you're ready to take it really seriously, if you're ready to stop cycling and start rebuilding your life, then it's a simple process. At the end of this video, head down into the comments, book a consultation for the Delta Path. Me or one of the team will connect with you. We will listen to you with no judgment, right? And we will absolutely hear everything that you have to say. We'll ask you some questions and we will build you a roadmap of your own. Guys, I hope that this has been useful. I'd love to hear from you. If you've got ideas, any questions, any comments, drop them in the comments below. And my DMs are always open. I hope you have a beautiful day and a happy and safe week ahead. Bye.